basically what it says is that a person can get a refund when you determine that taxes have been erroneously or illegally assessed and collected from the taxpayer, like I told you last time. In this case, in looking at this thing, I don't see that the taxes were illegally or erroneously assessed and collected. Every taxpayer receives an opportunity to file a return, and each year, and no return was filed here. And what the law says is if you don't file a return, then you're treated as if, for the exemption part and for other parts of your taxes, you're treated as if whatever it was the previous year. And in this case, you can only go back 3 years for a refund anyhow. And he filed in 2010, 2009, he got the refund, so he's really looking at only 2 years of possible refunds, which is, if I'm adding right, about $560, $565, something like that.
That's
not,
right.
Not that much money. But for both 2007 and 2008, he did not file a return. And when you don't file a return, it's presumed you default back to the previous year. The previous year, there was no homestead exemption. So I don't see anything illegally or erroneously assessed on this.
Mr. Skipper, I have to make a motion to deny Mr. Bishop's.
You don't, somebody does.
I need a motion for the board to deny Mr. Bishop's request for tax refund. Second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you, Mr. Skipper.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, item 10B is consideration to approve a contract between the Board of Commissioners and the District Attorney's Office.
What's the wishes of the board?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the contract.
Second.
All in favor?
Unanimous.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, during the period of wet weather we had earlier this year, there were times where Veolia, garbage provider, was not able to get to some of the homes because of impassable county roads. The county, Brian's office received several calls requesting credit for the period of time that they did not receive garbage service. Staff currently does not have the authority to provide credits, and so this question, this policy question, we brought before you of whether or not you would like in those periods of time that obviously would have to be documented by Public Works and also Veolia, where accounts cannot be serviced because of inclement weather. The county staff would have the authority to provide credits.
What's the wishes of the board?
Make a motion to allow county staff the ability to credit garbage bills for non-service.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Unanimous.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, item 10D is consideration to approve amendments to the county's animal control ordinance relating to dangers and potentially dangerous dogs. There is a memorandum from the county attorney on page 67 and 68 in the package, and also a proposed amendment to the current ordinance on page 69 and 70.
What's the wishes of the board?
I'd like to make a motion to retain the ordinance as it currently exists.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Yeah, lack of,
You got a call for vote on the other side, Mr. Chairman. All opposed?
all opposed? Thank you, Mr. Skipper.
Beautiful.
I'm the third vote to change it.
the motion was to leave it like it was, that motion failed.
Right.
So if you're gonna pass the ordinance as amendment, the amendment as presented, then somebody would need to make a motion to approve it, that needs to pass.
I'll make a motion to approve the amendments of the county's animal control ordinance.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
We will call for discussion.
Conversation. In fact, I want to have a little conversation about this myself. Go ahead.
Not that I would ever beat a dead horse. But, I do not see a reason for us, the governing board of this county, to change an ordinance and make it weaker, to change an ordinance that is that is designed for the public's safety. The great news is our county continues to grow, and we continue to have more and more neighborhoods. And as I have discussed with you or written you, the laws that currently exist is just a tool for us to help dog owners and pet owners to be responsible. And those that aren't responsible will suffer the consequences of the law. However, I want to point out, an animal that kills is not condemned to death. An animal that's killed is given a second opportunity. They're given 2 strikes. Our law, our ordinance as it currently exists, says if an animal kills, then we're going to identify it as a possibly dangerous dog, and that if it kills again, then there will be consequences to pay. But I'll point out that a responsible owner that just has a mishap, and the dog gets out, and happens to come upon another animal, and happens to have a fight and kills it, that dog can still live a happy and content life as well as the owner. But, there's, as I can see it, there's 3 reasons that these killings happen. Number 1 is responsible people make a mistake or have an equipment failure and their dog gets out through no fault of their own and through no fault of the dog. It happens upon an adversary and is killed. Understand that, but understand that a responsible owner, that's not going to happen a lot of times. And that dog's going to get a second chance. The other times that this happens is when you got an irresponsible owner. And that dog isn't out the first time. That dog is out the 45th time. And so, because there's so many opportunities, it happens. And so this gives us an opportunity to identify irresponsible owners. And number 3 reason that it happens is there are certain animals, because of heredity, because of their genetic makeup, or because of their environment in which they were raised, do revert back to their most basic instincts and have a bloodlust. Those animals don't belong in neighborhoods. There's reasons to have those dogs for security purposes, for hunting purposes, for sport, but those dogs don't belong in neighborhoods. Our head of the department, which we task with animal control, wants us to retain this ordinance. It's a tool that is effective for him. I don't hear a hue and cry from the public for us to change it. I've spent a lifetime calling on people at their homes and have had more than a few dog experiences. And I'm not worried about me. I'm not worried about adults. I'm worried about the 4-year-old child that lives next to an aggressive dog or an irresponsible owner. And we owe it to that child to do all we can to protect them. And we talk about public safety a lot here. And in my humble opinion, this is a step in the wrong direction for public safety.